Hello everyone, how are you all? So, our today's topic is distribution of molecular velocities and what type of molecular velocities we have and how the Maxwell explained the distribution of molecular velocities at temperature variation and molecular weight variation. Those all we are going to see Maxwell distribution curves, as well as we are going to see the types of molecular velocities, that is RMS velocity, average velocity, most probable velocity. Those all we are going to see in this video. So let's get into the video of distribution of molecular velocities. Now here, before going to this distribution of molecular velocities, just a simple, we will discuss about what gases. In case of gases, what happened? Gases are very small, tiny particle. We had seen in case of kinetic molecular theory of gases. Gases are very small and tiny particle which are moving with very high velocity randomly in all directions. When it is moving in all direction, it may make the collisions. So in that collision, what happens? If those collisions are perfectly elastic collisions, the average energy of the gas molecule will be remains constant at a particular temperature. Those all we had seen. Means each and every molecule possesses some certain velocity. No molecule will have the zero velocity. You see there, Maxwell also given the molecular velocities. He plotted the graph between number of molecules which are possessing some certain velocity. No gas molecule, these are the, say for example, I am taking the three gas molecule whose molecular weight is M1, whose molecular weight is, this is the second gas, it's M2, it is whose molecular weight is M3. Okay, so now molar masses of first gas, second gas, third gas we had given. Now see here, three gases which are not having the zero velocity, they are having some certain velocity. Whatever the gas molecule you take, each and every gas molecule possesses some certain velocity. Their velocity never be zero. And also, the molecular velocities of the different gases not equal. Okay, na? It will be, when it will be equal, you know, it is less than 1 nanosecond, it will be equal. Okay, now only at very fraction of seconds only the molecular velocities will be same. That fraction of seconds we can take it as less than nanosecond, that is 10 power minus 9 seconds. So at that small intervals of time only the molecular velocities will be same of the gases. Means each and every gas has the different molecular velocities. Means they are having the different velocities. So when they are having same velocity means it is less than nanosecond. Okay, na? So at that condition only they are having very less, very small intervals of time they are having equal velocities. If we had taken the three gases which are having different velocities, when they are plotted between the number of molecules and velocities, so then what happens? Different gases will have the different molecular weights. We had seen the rate of diffusion. So velocities also depends on the what molecular weight. Which are having more molecular weight, that will have the low velocity. That is, if you have the what thick person, means heavy personality is there, one person is slim person is there. Who will run faster? So the slim person, as usually slim person will run faster. If any tufan came means, who will run away from the surface of the earth? That thin person, because he is having less weight, so its velocity is more. If it is having more weight, then its velocity is very less. Now you see here, the velocity of which molecule is more here, which gas molecule is more, M3 is more. That is, M3 has the low molecular weight. M3 has low molecular weight. Thus, M2 has the somewhat less molecular velocity when compared to M3. Means, M2 has more molecular weight compared to M3. M1 is having somewhat less velocity when compared to M2 and M3. Means the M1 is having more molecular weight. This is the order of molecular weights. Means which is having heavier one, that will have low velocity. So you see this, it is an M1 gas which has the molecular weight M1. So its velocity is very less. But whereas if you take M2 and M3, they are having more velocity when compared to M1. Is that clear? And also here the molecular velocity of the gases mainly depends on the temperature also. As temperature increases, what happens? Molecular velocities also increases. Say for example, it is at T1 temperature, the second gas at T2 temperature, third gas at T3 temperature. Then what happens here? As temperature is increased, the molecular velocities will be increases and the curves, Maxwell distribution curves will shift towards the right direction. Okay, now that is as temperature is increased. Now here T3 is there. When you are increasing the temperature, what happens? They will make more number of collisions. When they are making more number of collisions, their energies are exchanged. Then they will get the more velocities. Okay, now their velocities will be further increases. That is T3 is having, that is third gas is having more velocity. So it is at high temperature. That is temperature is high means it has the more velocity. After that T2, after that T1. That is the temperature order. Now you see here some molecules will have the more velocity, some molecule will have the less velocity. The molecule which is possessed by the maximum number of molecule, you see here it is maximum number of molecule which is possessed velocity is called most probable velocity. What is mean by most probable velocity, which is represented with Cp, which is nothing but the maximum number of molecule possessed velocity is called most probable velocity. After that what happens, we will have the some average number of molecule will be there. So they are having the what average velocity. This is average velocity. C bar indicates the average velocity and this indicates the root mean square velocity. So this point indicates the RMS velocity, root mean square velocity. Three velocities are there. Out of these three velocities, which velocity is more here? RMS velocity is more than the average and most probable velocity. Most probable velocity is nothing but the velocity possessed by the maximum number of molecules. Now you see here, as temperature is increased, then what happens? The maximum number of molecule possessed velocity will be increases or not? That is here CMP you can take. So here the maximum number of molecule possessing velocity is increasing. That is as temperature increases, the Maxwell distribution curves are shifting towards the right direction. As temperature increases, the velocities, molecular velocities will be increases. That is molecular velocities are represented with the C. Those are directly proportional to temperature and those are molecular velocities are inversely proportional to molecular weight. It is an inversely proportional to square root of its molecular weight and it is directly proportional to square root of its temperature. That's all we are going to see. Now this Maxwell distribution curves we will see. Here some different gas molecule will have different energies. No? Say for example, N initial number of gas molecule which are having a Ni energy. Ni is what? It is an energy of initial number of gas molecule. It is equal to N into e power minus Ea by kT. Ea by kT. Okay now. So it is the equation which explains the what relation between temperature and molecular velocities, energy of the different gas molecule. These are the initial energy of the gas molecule, the total number of gas molecule, number of moles of total number of moles of gases molecule which is possessed energy is indicated with N. Now what is Ea here? It is an activation energy. What is K here? Boltzmann constant. T is absolute temperature. This equation explains the molecular energies of the different types of molecule. You can take the what here, Ni by N is equal to what happens? E power minus Ea by kT. So K is what here? Boltzmann constant. K is Boltzmann constant. Boltzmann constant. Maxwell distribution curves gives the relation between the water. This Ni by N is nothing but what? Energy. It is equal to Boltzmann constant. The energy of the gas molecule is equal to what? Boltzmann constant. That is Ni by N is nothing but Boltzmann constant which gives the e power minus Ea by kT. This is the equation which gives the relation between energy of the gas molecule and absolute temperature. Is that clear? That is about Maxwell distribution curve. So Maxwell distribution curve explains mainly no molecules will have the zero velocity. Each and every molecule possesses some certain velocity. Their molecular velocities are equal when less than nanosecond. Okay, now it is very fraction of second, very less second of time, very small intervals of time, that is less than nanosecond. The molecular velocities are equal. In most of the cases it won't be equal. Very less than nanosecond it will be equal. Okay, now because a different molecule will have the different molecular weight, they are having the different velocities. As temperature is increases, their molecular weights also increases. Is that clear? Distribution of molecular velocities and Boltzmann equation, which gives the relation between Boltzmann constant and temperature. Here EA is what? Activation energy of the gas molecule. Is that clear? Next we are going to see the types of molecular velocities. What are the different types of molecular velocities? We have three types of molecular velocities. Most probable velocity, average velocity, RMS velocity. What is meant by most probable velocity? The velocity possessed by the maximum number of gas molecule is called most probable velocity. Average velocity, that is whatever the velocities of different gases which have, their average velocity will gives you C bar. CRMS is what? Root mean squares of the velocities. Mean of the squares of the velocities. Square root of mean of the squares of the velocities. Those are the major three types of molecular velocities. We will see those molecular velocities here. Types of molecular velocities. So which velocity is more here? RMS velocity or most probable velocity or average velocity? RMS velocity is more when compared to most probable velocity. First we will go from the small to big. Most probable velocity. Most probable velocity. So what is meant by most probable velocity, which is represented with Cp? So more number of, maximum number of molecule possessed velocity is called most probable velocity, which is defined as, which is formula as Cp is equal to square root of 2 RT by m. We know that Pv is equal to RT. So from that, what we can write here? From that, for 1 mole of a gas. So from this, what you can write? Cp is equal to square root of 2 Pv by m. Now we know that density is equal to mass by volume. So from this, 1 by density is equal to volume by mass. So in place of volume by mass, we can write it as 1 by d or not. So from this, what you can write? Cp is equal to square root of 2p by d. So what you can say here? The molecular velocity is inversely proportional to square root of molecular weight at constant pressure and volume. And the Cp is inversely proportional to square root of density, and also Cp is what? Directly proportional to square root of temperature for the particular gas. For a particular gas, if you are taking, it will be, it is ml constant, r is constant, then it is square root of temperature. Those all relation we are going to get from most probable velocity. Next we are going to see the average velocity. Average velocity. What is meant by average velocity here? It is represented with C bar. Average velocities. We have different gases are there, that is different gases, that is first gas, second gas, so on like that. First gas velocity is C1 and second gas velocity is C2, third gas is C3, so on. So average of these all gases, sum of all the gas velocities by total number of molecules, that is Nt, that is N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus so on like that. So that is, if C1 gas contains the N1 number of molecule, then N1 C1. If C2 gas contain N2 molecule, its velocity will be N2 into C2, and C3 gas contain N3 C3, so on. This is called what? Average velocity. Okay, na? So average velocity is equal to, okay, this all will be, so no need of derivation of that formulas, those all. So average velocity is equal to 8 RT by pi m. 8 RT by pi m. Okay, na? So from this what you can write here? From this we are going to get average velocity is equal to 8 PV by pi m. So from this you can get the average velocity as square root of 8p by pi d. So here also same thing. You can get the average velocity is inversely proportional to square root of molecular weight, inversely proportional to square root of density, and it is directly proportional to absolute temperature. Now next we are going to see the RMS velocity. What is mean by RMS velocity here? Root mean square velocities. Root mean square velocities. You take the RMS velocity. That is root mean. Mean is nothing but average of root mean square velocity. Square velocities. Mean of the squares of the velocities is called what? Root of, square root of mean of the squares of the velocities. C1 square, which contain n1 number of molecule, n2 number of molecule possess the C2 velocity, that is square of the velocities, that is n3 possess the what? C3 squares, plus so on, like that, by total number of molecule n1 plus n2 plus n3 plus so on. So it must be equal to what? It is a square root of square of the mean of the squares of the velocities is called root mean square velocity. Is that clear? It is a square root of mean of the squares of the velocities is called root mean square velocity. This root mean square velocities is given by square root of 3RT by m. 3RT by m. So from this we are going to get RMS velocity is equal to square root of 3PV by m. 3PV by m. So from this we can get the one more also, that is RMS velocity is equal to square root of 3P by d. Now if I want to calculate in terms of T by m, if I am taking the R value, if I am taking the pressure in terms of dyne per centimeter square and volume is taken in centimeter cube, okay, then what happens? R value and square root of 3R, can I write like this? Square root of 3R into square root of T by m. Can I write like this? So we can write it as, so then what happens? It will be square root of 3R T by m. Now the square root of 3R, R value, if you are taking pressure and volume, then R value will be different, that is you will get it in 0.0821 into 10 power something, you will get that value. If you are substituting, then you are going to get 1.58 into 10 power 4 square root of T by m. Then molecular velocity will be in which units you are going to get? That is centimeter per second you will get. Centimeter per second you are going to get. Centimeter per second. The molecular velocity, RMS velocity in terms of centimeter per second will be 1.58 into 10 power 4. Then we will get this one. Pressure is taken in dyne per centimeter square, volume is taken in centimeter cube. Then we are going to get molecular velocity in centimeter per second. Is that clear? That is very important one. Now after that we are going to see the relation between these molecular velocities. We are going to see the relation between molecular velocities. I think so everyone is making notes. Now next we are seeing the relation between molecular velocities. Relation between the molecular velocities. So among all these molecular velocities, which velocity is more here? RMS velocity is more. That is most probable velocity is to most average velocity is to RMS velocity is equal to most probable velocity formula is what? 2RT by m. 2RT by m. So is to 8RT by pi m. 8RT by pi m and is to 3RT by m. 3RT by m. Okay na? So now you see in this case what happens? Square root of RT by m get cancelled. What is left over? Square root of 2. Here square root of 8 by pi is left over. Here square root of 3 is left over. If you write this one, then what happens? It will be 1 is to 1.128 is to 1.224. 1.224. That is the relation between Cp, C bar and CRMS. This is the relation between molecular velocity. This is a very important one. They will give the one molecular velocity and they will ask you other one. So this is the relation between three velocities. 1 is to 1.128 is to 1.224. Now from this, most probable velocity is 1. Average velocity is 1.128. RMS velocity is 1.224. That is more one. So you can give the relation between average velocity and most probable velocity will be how many times? Average velocity is 1.128 times the most probable velocity. RMS velocity will be, RMS velocity is 1.224 times the most probable velocity. We can give in another form also. If you are taking in the reverse, RMS velocity is to average velocity is to most probable velocity. 1 is to 0.9213 is to 0.8166. So then average velocity in terms of RMS velocity will be, average velocity is equal to 0.9213 into RMS velocity, and most probable velocity is equal to 0.8166 into RMS velocity. These units are, these conversions are very important while solving the problems. Is that clear? Next, we will see some problems on molecular velocities. Problems on molecular velocities. So first problem is calculate the RMS velocity, average velocity and most probable velocity of sulfur dioxide at 27 degrees Celsius they are saying. T is how much they given? 300 Kelvin. What is the molecular weight they given? Sulfur dioxide molecular weight is 64. Now first you calculate the RMS velocity. RMS velocity is equal to 1.58 into 10 power 4 into square root of T by M. Is it or not? We have this formula. Okay. In terms of centimeter per second. Centimeter per second. Now 1.58 into 10 power 4 square root of 300 by 64. Okay na? You do this calculation, you will get the RMS velocity. Okay na? 300 by 64, you do that one. Then you will get the, in terms of 10 power 4. Sorry, say for example 3 into, say for example I am saying just it is an 1.5 approximately it will be 150 to that is square root of 1.4. So it will get nearly 3 into 10 power 4 centimeter per second. Approximately I am taking just 3 or 4 into something you will get. If you know the RMS velocity, you can calculate the most probable velocity as well as average velocity. Most probable velocity is the least one. That most probable velocity is 0.8166 into RMS velocity. If you multiply that value, you will get the most probable velocity. Average velocity will be 0.9213 into RMS velocity. If you multiply those two, you will get the answer. Now if you are taking CRMS is equal to square root of 3RT by M, you will get it. Okay na? But here 3R square root of, but simplification we are using this formula. Okay na? Any formula you can use. Is that clear? First one. Next one. The average velocity of nitrogen at 27 degrees Celsius is 0.3 meter per second. At what temperature it will be 0.6 meter per second they are saying. That is average velocity at 27 degrees Celsius they given 0.3. It is at T1 temperature is 300 Kelvin. That is 27 means 300 Kelvin. So when it will average velocity becomes 0.6 at what temperature? At T2 is will be how much they are saying. We know that average velocity is equal to square root of 8 RT by pi m. So from this molecular of velocity of molecular weight of nitrogen is same. Both the gases are nitrogen only. So pi is constant, R is constant, 8 is constant. Then average velocity is directly proportional to square root of temperature. Then C average of first one by second one. C average of second gas is equal to square root of T1 by T2. So from this what happens? You substitute all those values there. Then you are going to get the, that is first average velocity, that is at T1 0.3. At T2 0.6 is equal to square root of T1 is how much? 300 Kelvin by T2 is we need to calculate. So it will be 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is equal to square root of 300 by T2. That is squaring on both sides. 1 by 4 is equal to 300 by T2. So from this what happens? T2 is equal to 4 into 300, that is 1200 Kelvin. 1200 Kelvin. You can convert into degree Celsius. If they are asking in degree Celsius, you can write it degree Celsius. I think so this one is clear. Is that clear? How to give the relation between molecular velocity and temperature. Next we are going to see the another problem. Another problem, that is velocity, at what temperature hydrogen has the same RMS velocity as that of which gas? At what temperature hydrogen has the same RMS velocity as that of oxygen at room temperature? They are asking the RMS velocity. RMS velocity is equal to square root of 3 RT by M. Now what they are saying, at what temperature hydrogen has the same RMS velocity. Here hydrogen is there and oxygen is there. Different molecular weight. Molecular weight of hydrogen is 2, molecular weight of oxygen is 32. At what temperature hydrogen has the same RMS velocity as that of oxygen at room temperature. That is, temperature will be, okay, at what temperature hydrogen has the same RMS velocity as that of oxygen at room temperature. That is, they given the hydrogen at 25 degrees Celsius. They are asking the temperature of oxygen will be how much? 25 is nothing but 298 Kelvin. T1 by T2 into M2 by M1. That is, RMS velocity T is equal to 1. That is, RMS velocity of hydrogen to oxygen. So then what happens? It is equal to 1. T1 is 298 into 32 by T2 into 2 by, that is hydrogen is 2 by, it is how much it is? That is 32. So you do this calculation, you are going to get the 16, that is T2 is equal to 298 Kelvin by 60. 6. How much it is? 18.6 Kelvin you will get. That is, you convert into degree Celsius. How much it will be? Degree Celsius, it is minus 254 you will get. Minus 254.4 degrees Celsius it will be. Is that clear? That is in terms of degree Celsius. So here both are having square root, no, both will be cancelled out. If you are taking both are taken, then your square will get cancelled. So directly proportional. RMS velocity is directly proportional to T by M. So next, at what temperature is completed? No, this one. Okay. So next one, fourth question. Fourth question you see. Fourth question. The calculation part should be somewhat lengthy here because all square values are involved. No? Now next, fourth one, under similar condition, what is the ratio of RMS velocities of O3 and most probable velocity of O2? What they are saying, RMS velocity of O3, RMS velocity of O3 and under similar condition, what is the ratio they are saying, and most probable velocity of oxygen they are saying. So that is, you take the RMS velocity, that is 3RT by M. M is what? Molecular weight of ozone. So most probable velocity, that is 2RT by M, molecular weight of oxygen. Here what is the difference here? RT get cancelled because it is an temperature under similar condition they are saying. Same. That is, here 3 by molecular weight is there. 3 by molecular weight of ozone is 48. East. Here 2 by molecular weight of oxygen, that is 32. That is 3 by 48 is nothing but 16. Here also 16. That is 1:1. What is the ratio of RMS velocity of ozone and oxygen? It is 1:1. Is that clear? So in that manner you need to do. Next, calculate the ratio of average velocities of helium atom at 27 degrees Celsius and methane molecule at 127 degrees Celsius. Calculate the ratio of average velocities of helium atom at 27 degrees Celsius. Helium atom, it is question number 5. So helium atom at 27 degrees Celsius they are saying. T is what? 300 Kelvin. And methane molecule at 127 degrees Celsius. Average molecular weight of, average velocity of methane, CH4. Its temperature is how much? 127 plus 273, that is nothing but 400 Kelvin. So now they are asking the calculate the ratio of average velocities of helium and methane molecule. We know that average velocity is equal to 8 RT by pi m. square root of. So then what happened? 8 R and pi m. Both will be, m is a variation, no? So that is average velocity is directly proportional to square root of T by m. Okay, na? So you take the average velocity of helium to the average velocity of methane is equal to square root of, that is temperature of helium is how much? 300. Temperature of methane is how much? 400 into molecular velocity, molecular weight of methane, how much it is? 16 by molecular weight of helium will be 4. So 4, 4, 16. So 4, 4 get cancelled, 2, 0, 2, 0 get cancelled. We have root 3. So root 3 by 1, that is 1.732 is to 1. That is the ratio between the average velocity of helium to the average velocity of methane at 127 degrees Celsius. That's it about the molecular velocities, distribution of molecular velocities and Boltzmann distribution curves and different types of molecular velocities and their relation. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep watching Upper Chemistry classes for more videos.